In this video, I'm going to talk about a concept in Japanese swordsmanship that pops up quite often: Omote versus Ura. When techniques are explained in Kendo or Iaido, the terms Omote and Ura sometimes come up to describe which side of the shinai or sword you should use to execute the waza. Omote and Ura also come in handy when talking about the sword itself as a physical object. When you're in Shudan no kamae, your shinai and your opponent's shinai are usually touching on the Omote side. So when you look down at the shinai, the left side is the Omote side and the right side is the Ura side. So why is this side of the sword called the Omote, or the outside of the sword? It goes back to how the sword is worn in the obi. This is how you wear a katana in your obi, with the blade facing up. The side of the sword that faces away from your body is the outside, hence the term omote. And the side that faces your body is the reverse, or ura side. When you draw the sword and turn the blade upside down to go into chudan, the omote side of the sword faces to your left. That's why that side is called omote. Consequently, there are a number of customs that result from this side of the sword facing outward. Chief among them is the custom of the sword maker signing the tang of the blade on the omote side. Even though the signature is hidden in the suka, it's the sword maker's declaration to the world that this is my work. That tradition is carried over into Kendo, and the customary location to write your name on the shinai is on the omote side, generally in the middle of the suka. It also informs how you display your sword in a katana stand, or katana kake. If a saya is going to be decorated, it'll generally be done so more on the omote side than the ura side, since it's the omote side that will be visible when the sword is worn in the obi. So when you display your sword in a katana kake, you generally display it with the omote side facing out. The issue with displaying the sword with the omote side facing out is that it takes a tiny bit longer to draw the sword in an emergency. So if you were a samurai retainer, displaying the sword with the ura side facing out was said to be an indication of your martial readiness. Understanding which side of the sword is the omote side will help you understand the shorthand that's often used during practice. For example, a practice leader may call out a waza, such as kote suriage men on the omote side. Kote suriage men on the omote side. This avoids the confusion of saying left side or right side, because that sometimes leads to the question, my left or my opponent's left. The terms omote and ura are also reminders that the shinai is not just a bamboo stick, but it's a representation of a katana, which has a particular shape. And that shape informs the way that you execute certain waza.